Here's your First Warned Weather forecast first, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
After a warm afternoon, temperatures now continuing to fall back, though not quite as far as they otherwise would. We actually have some slightly lower dew points at the moment, down in the 50s, but increasing cloud cover is going to help keep our temperatures a little bit on the warmer side than they otherwise would fall, going from the 80s from the afternoon down into the 60s at the moment, down into the upper 50s for the overnight lows. Despite that increasing cloud cover, we continue to remain dry of precipitation through most of the night tonight. However, increasing rain chances starting to work their way in as we get into tomorrow morning, and those could stick around throughout the afternoon and going into Monday and Tuesday as well. I'll let you know how long that rain sticks around and let you know when we're eventually going to see those warmer temperatures return, coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 10 starts now.
Dynamite found in a state line trailer sends 3 deputies with the bomb squad to the hospital. And more struggles for workers from Belvedere's shuttered Stellantis plant. Many of them having moved to the one in the suburbs, now under strike. The reasons they're happy to join the picket line.
Well, I can't remember the names anymore, but I can still see the green and the gold, and that's fun just watching.
A bucket list wish: a local centenarian is headed for Lambeau Field to cheer on her Packers. Good evening, I'm Marissa Lessner. Taylor is off tonight. 3 deputies are taken to the hospital after responding to a call for a bomb. Someone found dynamite in a trailer on a Cleophas Road northwest of Beloit in Rock County this morning. The Rock County Sheriff's Office called the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department bomb team to assist. During the disposal, the deputies were hurt. No other information is being shared right now. The incident is still under investigation. People who need to renew their FOID card or wanted to sign up for one got some help today. State Representatives Dave Vella and Maurice West held a free FOID card assistance event in Loves Park. It's illegal to own a firearm in the state of Illinois without a FOID card. It's been around since 1968. A majority of the process is now online, so volunteers were on hand to help those who might not be able to get online or don't have a computer.
I want to make sure that I am in a position to adhere to the common sense gun reform laws that we have. No one's trying to take away your firearm. We just want to make sure that we know who has firearms. That's it.
West says they plan to continue to hold these, and the people who showed up today were checked to see if they also had any unclaimed money through the state's iCash program. Some state line workers joined the picket line when the Belvedere assembly plant closed earlier this year. They moved to the Stellantis plant in Naperville. They're now part of the nationwide strike against the big 3 automakers. Jordan Hillen drives more than an hour each way to work, while Kim Collier drives 2 hours each way. Both say they never received accommodations or an increase, and the cost of living is too much for them to move closer to work.
I don't get to see my family. I don't get to see my children Monday through Friday, but for 5 minutes per day when I wake up to send them off on the bus.
You do what you got to do for a job. I'm also diabetic, so I work for the insurance. It hurts when you get up every day and you come to work and you do what you got to do and nobody appreciates it.
The UAW is asking for pay raises, cost of living pay increases, and defined benefit pensions. Close to 200 workers walked off the job yesterday morning from the Stellantis parts distribution site in Naperville and a General Motors plant in Bolingbrook. Ford was spared from further striking on Friday after the UAW president confirmed the company met some of the union's demands over negotiations. A Rockford woman who turned 100 a few months ago finally gets to check off the last thing off of her bucket list: a trip to Green Bay to see her beloved Packers. Nicole Delgado introduces us to one of the oldest Packer backers.
Well, it was just a silly thing that everybody was talking about, and I wanted to be with the Sillies, and I decided there was always a goal and the reason to get up in the morning.
Alice Alfredson tells me she's always had different dreams she wanted to accomplish in her life. She says many of her adventures were unexpected, including an out-of-the-country trip with her friend.
She said she was going to go to South America, and she said, but my dad doesn't want me to go alone. Can you go with me? And I was a new widow at the time, and I said, sure. And right away I knew that I wanted to go to South America.
One by one, Alice checked things off her bucket list. Alice's friends Herbert and Paula Meldal wanted to help with completing her longtime dream.
She had one thing left on her bucket list. That was going to Lambeau in a Packers game. I happened to have season tickets.
But I just never thought I'd make it up there until he said, yes, you will.
Herbert and Paula say they just wanted to give Alice a memorable day.
It's a blessing to us that we've been blessed to be able to do that for her. More people should think about blessing others if they can. And if there's an opportunity to help somebody, not to pass it by, but to take advantage of it.
Alice is excited to go to Green Bay to see the Packers and take a Hall of Fame tour, all with friends and family.
Oh, I'm just going to live that game and enjoy. Watch that green and gold and enjoy. And be thankful and grateful to these people that have made it possible.
Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Nikel Delgado.
When I went for my check-in after I had finished chemo, they told me I had a surprise. I seen a lot of people in the waiting room, and I didn't think anything of that either. And then they surprised me with the tickets from Justin Fields.
12-year-old Sophie Neves, who you just saw there, gets to check off a Bears game off of her bucket list. She and her family touched down in Chicago this weekend. Sophie has been battling cancer. Her favorite player, quarterback Justin Fields, as you heard there, surprised her with an all-expenses-paid trip to come and watch him play. It's a congratulations for her for finishing chemo. Her day started with a tour of Hallis Hall, then she got to meet with the team. Her message to other kids with cancer is to have faith and never give up. Well, a magician and bubbleologist piqued the curiosity today of many at the Discovery Center.
Report.
Well, that's pretty cool. Children of all ages were entertained by a professional bubble artist who combines art with science in his shows. He talked about the science of bubbles while doing tricks and making bubble sculptures. He can even make bubbles within bubbles, as well as different shapes. Organizers say anytime you can combine fun and learning, it's a good day at the Discovery Center.
Kids love bubbles, and really, people of all ages do. And so he does a great job of doing some tricks, some things that amaze. We say he combines kind of storytelling, science, and magic into one show. So, and he even, uses some scientific terms and gives kind of some of the science behind some of it.
After the show, there was a Bubble-palooza playground where kids could practice their own tricks. A major meeting in Texas with the U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security and the President of Honduras as thousands of migrants continue to cross illegally into the U.S. from Mexico. The ripple effect now being felt in big cities like L.A., New York, and Chicago.
Our temperatures were the warmest that Rockford has seen in almost 2 weeks thanks to high pressure and lots of sunshine today. Unfortunately, that is the warmest day we are going to see for another extended stretch. I'll let you know how long the stretch of 70s and rain is going to last coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Taylor Castro, Reagan Holgate, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Welcome back. The number of migrants arriving at the southern border is rising once again. Today, the Homeland Security Secretary met with the Honduran president to discuss ways to reduce the crisis. Lionel Moyes has the details.
The number of people showing up at the southern U.S. border is on track to surpass previous monthly totals. According to Customs and Border Protection data, Border Patrol made more than 181,000 apprehensions along the southern border in August, up from more than 132,000 in July. Mexico's biggest railroad company resumed operations after it temporarily halted trains after it said so many migrants were hitching rides it was unsafe to move. Families, many with young children, climbing on board, tossing belongings on the train, handing up small children. The Biden administration authorizing an additional 800 troops be sent to the border to help deal with the crisis.
The city of El Paso only has so many resources, and we have come to but we look at a breaking point right now.
El Paso's mayor says the number of migrants has escalated faster than his city was prepared for, saying more than 2,000 were looking to come across Saturday alone.
I had conversations with mayors from other cities that we're looking hopefully to be able to coordinate with them.
Migrants are being bused from Texas to cities across the country, including Los Angeles, Denver, Chicago, and New York.
Every individual that boards one of those buses is going voluntarily. They sign a form stating that they're going voluntarily to the destination of their choice.
Many of them are coming from Venezuela. President Biden offering temporary protected status to nearly 500,000 Venezuelans already in the U.S., allowing them to legally find work.
They want to work, they want to contribute to the American experience and American dream.
Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
Parts of the mid-Atlantic are underwater tonight after Tropical Storm Ophelia made landfall today in North Carolina. Ophelia came ashore in Emerald Isle with winds of 70 miles an hour. That's just under hurricane strength. Storm surges of up to 6 feet are expected in North Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland. Tens of thousands of customers were without power this afternoon. The storm is now headed northeast, where Philadelphia, New York, and Boston are expecting strong winds and rain tomorrow morning. Back here at home, we had a picture-perfect day with highs in the 80s, but we still do need some rain, and there's some of that in the forecast. Jordan tells us when, over the next few days, we can expect some of that wet weather.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Well, many places in the state line actually reached a high temperature in the 80s today. 82 degrees for the majority of us, which is actually the warmest temperature, at least in Rockford, that we've seen in nearly 2 weeks. 84 degrees was the last time we were this warm, and that was back on September 10th. Temperatures continuing to remain a little bit more on the mild side here into the evening, partly because of some of that warmer weather sticking around, but also increasing cloud cover. Right now, we are sandwiched in between two major storm systems. One in particular, it was already mentioned in the newscast, Tropical Storm Ophelia off on the east coast, off to our west. That's where we have our next low pressure system. It will bring us additional rain chances as we get into the next couple of days going forward. Locally, though, we are still remaining on the drier side, though increasing cloud cover, all the showers continuing to fizzle as they encounter some of that drier air getting a little bit closer here to the state line. We are still seeing, though, increasing cloud coverage, and we can kind of see that when we look off in the distance. There is some clearing, though, as we see the moon just above that logo over there. Our SkyTrack camera overlooking Beloit, Wisconsin, that is showing off some of that cloud cover that we are still seeing. That was also showing up with some of our more mild temperatures that we are seeing with our temperature map. We continue to see many spots in the 70s, actually still out to our west, 71 in Galena, 70 in Savannah. Further to the east, temperatures into the 60s, already down to 62 degrees in DeKalb, 65 the current temperature in Rockford. We are actually seeing some of that warmer weather also in many spots with the more mild temperatures sticking around. Our weather watcher Terry also reporting a temperature of 64 degrees, a dew point of 57, winds out of the east at 8 miles per hour. That's ahead of that next low pressure system helping to draw some of that air into it. Overnight tonight, temperatures do not fall all that far, not much further from where they are now. Down to 58 degrees for the overnight low, though increasing cloud cover and a still fairly mild night as a result, despite dew points currently being a little bit on the lower side, down in the low and mid 50s for many of us. Increasing cloud coverage then leads to increasing rain chances for the afternoon tomorrow. Temperatures about 10 degrees cooler than where they were today. 72 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, scattered showers throughout much of the afternoon and going into the evening. This is all because we're still seeing some of that moisture sticking around. Our low pressure system that's off to our west, kind of helping to bring some of that moisture into it. That's the initial rain that we're going to be seeing for the day tomorrow, but that low pressure system continues to settle and almost stalls out over the Great Lakes, helping to bring us additional rain chances going into the next few days, not only for Sunday, but also Monday, and then chances for Tuesday and Wednesday as well. Futurecast continues to keep us dry for at least part of tomorrow, but a few of those scattered showers throughout much of the afternoon and into the evening. Not going to be a washout by any means, but at least have the umbrella handy, as we will continue to see those spotty showers throughout much of Sunday and going into Monday before higher chances return as we get into Tuesday, ahead of that low pressure system getting a little bit closer to the area. That will bring us the at least more widespread showers going into Tuesday after those scattered scattered showers on Sunday and Monday. Temperatures, though, remaining fairly steady with that low pressure almost overhead, down in the low 70s for the majority of the days going forward. Marissa, though, warming back up into the upper 70s with a bit more sunshine late next week.
All right, looks pretty good. Thanks, Jordan. Reagan's in next with sports. Husky Stadium was rocking today for NIU's non-conference finale with Tulsa. Plus, a few local teams also took to the field this afternoon to close out Week 5. Those highlights coming up after the break.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
Brett Bielema's squad was looking for a bounce-back win this week in Champaign as they played host to the Florida Atlantic Owls. It was a rough one last week for Illinois' Luke Altmaier versus Penn State. Things were a little better today. Even though they spotted FAU a 10-point lead after one, they begin their comeback on a flea flicker. It's Altmaier to Griffin Moore for 46 yards to get within 3, and it's 10-7. Then just before the half, Altmaier goes on the keeper and scampers his way in for a 14-10 advantage heading into the locker room. Same score in the third quarter when Aiden Lawfree keeps it on the ground from 3 yards out to provide a 10-point cushion. Illinois wins 23-17 to close out non-conference action. They will face Purdue next weekend. In DeKalb today, the NIU Huskies hosted the Tulsa Hurricane. The Huskies lost to these guys last year in Tulsa by a field goal, and it was a rough day for Huskies QB Rocky Lombardi. Back to pass in his own end zone in the first quarter. He just loses the handle on the ball. Lombardi falls on the ball in the end zone for a safety, and he was benched after that one. Ethan Hampton took over at quarterback in the second quarter. He rolls out and has Trayvon Rudolph for a 6-yard touchdown. The Huskies still trailing 9-7. In the third quarter, a third quarterback was in the game for NIU. Justin Lynch, he keeps the football and races 29 yards into the end zone. That gave the Huskies their first lead, 14-9. Tulsa came back with a touchdown and a field goal to regain the lead. NIU had the ball with just under a minute to play, down by 8. The Huskies were driving, but Hampton's pass is picked off in Tulsa territory. NIU drops its third straight game, losing to Tulsa 22-14. And probably the biggest game around the league today took place in South Bend. Ohio State walks it off with 3 seconds left to play, 17-14 the final there. And prime time has been put on pause, folks, after today's game in Eugene. The Oregon Ducks rout Colorado 42-6. Well, we saw 8 NIC-10 teams take the field last night for Week 5 action, and the other 2 kicked off this afternoon at Wyeth Stadium. That was the Guilford Vikings taking on the Jefferson Jayhawks. Jefferson would fire first, and it's going to be D'Angelos Roby with a fumble recovery, and he takes it all the way back for a touchdown. A successful 2-point conversion makes it 8-0 Jayhawks. It didn't take long for the G-Vikes to respond, though. Next drive, Grayson Weber has LaDamian Hoffman on the edge. He gets shifty and picks up a big first down for the Vikings. A few snaps later, Messiah Tilson will run it in for the score. Jayhawks still lead 8-6, though. The Vikings defense able to come up with a few big stops here. Grant Nelson picks off Dante Love, makes a nice run downfield to set up the Vikes in Jefferson territory. That drive will end with QB Xavier Lynn on the keeper. He pushes his way through 14-8, now Guilford. The Vikings will get the ball back and find the end zone again. It's Tilson with a hole for his second TD on the day. Guilford went on to win 48-8 for their second of the season. And in some baseball today, the Cubs grab another win over the Rockies, holding on to that third NL wildcard spot, just a game ahead of the Marlins now. And the White Sox beat Boston 1-0. That's sports. We'll be right back.
The First Warn Interactive Radar from Rockford Auto Glass and More continues to keep us dry for the rest of the night tonight, but rain showers starting to work their way in early tomorrow morning. Those last through Sunday and Monday. More widespread rain on Tuesday. Temperature is very close to normal all through the week ahead up through next weekend.
That's it for us. Have a great night.